Welcome to Memorable Marketing by MediaGroup. On today's podcast, we have Chiara Galfré, who works at Rockfon in a digital marketing role. Besides this, she has experience working in other marketing-related roles. And in today's conversation, we'll hopefully talk a lot about B2B marketing and how that all works together with local offices and a lot of different audiences. So I hope you will enjoy.
We are a B2B company, so the marketing role is to generate leads. Everything has to go through our branding team.
Welcome to the Memorable Marketing Podcast. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Why don't we dive right into it, and you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. I started actually working with digital marketing not that many years ago. It was after I graduated in 2018. I come from a different sector, from the social sector, but then I got really passionate about it while studying my master's degree because I dived into innovation and consumer journey and these kind of concepts. And then when I finished my master, I had my first job in a SAS company in Copenhagen, where I started working with social media, both organically and paid. And from there, I just got more specialized in that and especially in paid campaigns, joining first another SAS company and then afterwards joining MediaGroup as a social media specialist, as a paid specialist. And then, so I had the opportunity to learn more and more about the different platforms, the different channels, and then also to, of course, start developing my own strategies and working closer and closer with the clients. And then after MediaGroup, I got the opportunity to join Rockfon, and that's where I am now. I have more responsibilities because I don't work only with paid campaigns, but I also work with email marketing, and I work as advisor for our local markets and local marketing managers. And I also am in contact with a lot of external platforms where I work with when we have to do some specific campaigns. So it can be for example, architecture magazines or these kind of things. And when we need to do something digital, I'm in contact with them and I'm responsible for designing the campaigns with them.
Yeah, so I suppose starting to feel a bit like being a one-man band, doing a lot of different things, which I suppose is interesting and nice on its own as well. You mentioned you come a bit from the social side of things. I've always thought that marketing is a bit like commercial psychology or commercial social sciences.
What do you mean with commercial social sciences?
In a way, what you're doing with marketing is you're trying to influence behavior. And I suppose with the social sciences, you're first trying to understand that behavior. I guess you do that with marketing as well. And then you're also trying to influence it in some way or another through policies and through social work or other things. So that's how I meant it.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, there's always, in my approach to campaigns and general digital strategies, there is an analysis of the user's behavior, and then based on that, I craft or design my strategies. So absolutely, yes. So
you mentioned you're working at Rockfon now, and you're doing more than just paid, also content and some of the other things there. Maybe I see a really nice wall behind you, and I know what type of products you sell, but perhaps for our listeners and viewers, you can talk some more about what the company does.
Yeah, sure. So this is called Lamella. It's one of our products. It is part of what we call new design range products. So we design acoustic solutions, and Rockfon is known for the tiles, acoustic tiles, and that always has been known for that. But last year, we launched a range of new products, and they are called design products because they are high customizable. For example, the one behind me is a wooden solution, and you can choose the type of wood, the depth of the slacks, the length, and so on. And we have, I think, someone calculated above 600,000 solutions that you can choose. Yeah, and this is one of it's a range of 5 products, and that's actually what we got the help from MediaGroup to promote these new products when we launched them in September last year.
Basically, in short, you're supplying sort of acoustic ceilings and walls and things of that nature. What would you say are your target audiences in terms of the people that you sell to?
There are many target personas. So we work a lot. I work a lot with audience segmentation because, for example, this product behind me or these new design products have a target audience that is mainly architects and interior architects, interior designers, as well as space planners. But we also have other target personas that are more linked to our more known products that are installers. For example, it can be contractors. We have many profiles that we target, and of course, the strategy has to change a lot when we talk to architects or when we talk to installers because their language is different, their background is different, and especially their approach to the digital in general. The digital world is very different. So the channels that we use, the platforms, the message, the way we communicate the message is, and in general, the user's journey is very different between them. And that's also very exciting. That's the exciting part of this work.
I suppose you mentioned messages need to be different because those audiences care about different aspects of your product.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is there any sort of more high volume business, but perhaps low margin? Is there any higher margin business, lower volume?
Yeah, absolutely. We have some products that have, more volume, but lower margin. And we have a category of what we call high-end products that are, from a marketing point of view, they have a longer funnel and the decisional process is longer. But of course, the margin is higher. And also talking again about target person and audiences involved in the decisional process are more. And on top of that, in the different countries, the decisional makers are different and have different decisional power and influence on the process of buying the product.
I suppose it gets very complicated very quickly. The reason I was asking also about the high margin, lower volume products is it would seem to me that your launch of the design products would be intended to sell some higher margin products as well.
Yes, they are the high-end products, yes.
Do you approach marketing differently because of that? I suppose you mentioned already the longer decision period. It will probably be more marketing intense or budget intense to sell high margin products. Do I see that correctly?
Yeah. So the investment, budget-wise and time-wise, and everything is higher for the high-end products with a higher margin, even if we know that the costs can be higher than the low-end products. But because the profit is higher, we are willing to invest more resources, time, and budget on those kind of products.
I suppose that it would be very helpful for everyone, sort of maybe in related industries, to have heard of Rockfon, of the brand, what it stands for, what it's trying to say from a brand perspective.
Yes.
For specific products to do marketing, I suppose there will be less opportunity to do marketing for the lower margin products, maybe more for the higher margin products. So I would say that there are a number of tiers of marketing that needs to be done. So I was just wondering if you have differentiated different strategies for those.
Yeah, we have indeed, because with the high-end products, we also have more, for example, as I was mentioned before, architects involved in that. And since architects are more present on the digital, we can also collaborate more with different magazines, and we work a lot with architect platforms, both global and local, to focus on brand awareness and to just promote some educational material for them, to inspire them. For lower end products, we work more project-based. So the idea is to get the target personas to choose our products when they have to specify. Or we can work, for example, in some countries, for example, the installers have more decisional power, or the contractors. So we target them with showing, and it's more practical language, let's say. So we show the advantage of choosing our products instead of the competitors, for example, for specific projects.
So I suppose it would be kind of like sales support type marketing, what you do for those type of products.
Yeah, it's more that it's less centralized, because every market has different needs. So because part of my job is also be an advisor for the local markets, what they will do is coming to me and telling me what kind of product they want to push, and then I will help them to find the right strategy. And normally the way the company structure is that local marketing manager have a manager who is normally the sales director. So it comes from a need from a sales perspective, what they need to sell more. And then based also on that, we try to find the best solution and to target the right people and so on.
In some cases, a good strategy, but I also suppose that because the local markets have different priorities or different opinions about things, perhaps it sometimes means a lack of sort of strategic vision towards the products that you want to push as the company as a whole.
Yeah, it can happen that what they ask, so the requests from the local markets are different from what we want to push centrally. But normally we find a solution, and especially if there is an overlapping, not so much about the products, but more the target personas, that we know that if they want to push some products and we want to do this, push others, and maybe we target the same persona, there would be overlapping, and we want to avoid that. So we just need to coordinate and let's see, run some campaigns and some activities in a certain period for the local requests, and then do in a different period for the central campaigns, let's say. So we avoid overlapping, and we always check that the same audience, let's say, is not overloaded or spammed with too many inputs at the same time. So there's a lot of coordination work.
Yeah, I can imagine. To what degree do the local offices do their own sort of media advertising versus what headquarters does?
So we monitor, actually, I did it very recently. I shared a survey with them, and I collected a lot of data on which kind of local agencies they use, which kind of local platforms they use, and if they are satisfied with that. Because I believe that if there are local platforms that work well for them, they should just go for it. And of course, if they need support in defining the KPIs or what they expect from them, I gladly help them. And then in certain cases, it's better to use something that we suggest. It could be an agency, it could be a channel, whatever, from the central team, it can be used on a global level. But they can still, of course, allocate budget and resources to local, magazines or platforms, whatever it is, if it works for them. And of course, if they can show that they get the results that they expect.
I suppose the argument for this is that they have local P&L responsibility, so they'll need to, they need to have some control of it. The downside is, which we find with many of our clients, is that there seems to be a lot of issues around efficiency of the media buy. So, for instance, someone's manager's kid's soccer team gets sponsored by the company because, it's just nice, but it's not really a very efficient way to do marketing. And then there's sometimes issues around messaging, like, are we using the same material, the same creatives? Are we being consistent across different things? And then what you mentioned in terms of coordination, also that you're not doing many things at the same time to the same audience, or even something like, you're doing ads in wallpaper or some magazine like this, and the local office does it as well. You will have better rates, or it's just, I imagine a lot of potential issues there.
Yeah, indeed. And that's why we have a very structured way of working, in the sense that, for example, now in September, all the local markets have to deliver a marketing plan for next year, where all these, they have to show the business goals and the marketing goals and which initiative they want to activate to reach these goals. That means also all the local activation, for example. That is one point, how to control these kind of things. And of course, they have to go through our marketing director, and they have to be approved, because there has to be consistency between the goals that they set and the digital and not digital initiatives that they want to implement. And the second point about the consistency of the content and the message and tone of voice as well, everything has to go through our branding team that has to approve the content and the selection of images, videos, whatever they want to use, because it has to be aligned with the company guidelines.
Good to hear you have brand police.
We do. They're very good at it.
That's very necessary as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So would you be able to kind of summarize the marketing approach of Rockfon, how you see the marketing strategy as a whole?
Our marketing team is relatively new and is expanding. It has been expanding quite fast and a lot. So in everything we do, there is a lot of testing, and it's very exciting for me to have this kind of freedom to test a lot of different things and see what works. And of course, like always monitor what works and what not, and what to implement or what to just disregard. We have a split between the digital marketing team and brand team. So we collaborate a lot, but it's also lucky that we have so many resources. So someone can take care of all the content and tone of voice and guidelines for the branding, and we can use their guidelines when we have to create something and promote our products.
It sounds like you used to be kind of a sales-driven company. Is that right?
Yes, that's true. We are a B2B company, so the marketing role is to generate leads, not only, but a lot of our work is to generate leads and good quality leads. And of course, we test something, as I was saying, we test a lot of different initiatives, and we need to know if our work is has a value for the sales team, if we are generating good quality leads. And that's also very important to get their feedback on how the leads are. And based on that, we have been also changing strategies on the run sometimes, because we get the same feedbacks from several markets. And this is very useful for us.
I just think that if you are used to working in a way like using network and using, for instance, events and things like this, the people that you speak to are a bit warmer than the people that you speak through that come from advertising. And it can be disheartening because in marketing, we know conversion rates, right? So we think that maybe, I don't know what it is for you, but let's say maybe 10% of leads will convert to the next stage of the funnel. Then salespeople should know that they should speak to 9 people to get one that is like relatively interested. But imagine you're having to do those types of calls. You're going to start to look for ways to become more efficient. So sending out mass emails to people instead of customizing it or giving them a call. And that's going to lower the conversion rate. And then there could be a sort of move towards the bottom and saying like, okay, we don't really need these leads anymore. I'm just going to do it the way that I was always doing, which is difficult.
Yeah, it is a risk. And we are still in the phase where they use their network and it's a mix for them. They indeed use their network and warm leads and we send leads through digital. But let's also say that the way our CRM system is set up is that they receive leads when the lead is already in the lower funnel. So it has been, if it's a new lead, it has been interacted with, so it has been through several touch points, let's say. So, and we always try to have quite long user journey. So we warm them up for them as much as we can, of course, because as you said, it's digital. We are not talking to them. And we also have in some of the countries what is called a role called inside sale. There is a person that we find more and more useful because we are having more and more digital campaigns. That is a person who screens all the leads coming in the CRM system, have the first call with them to understand where they are in their, let's say, in their phase, or if they have a project, or if they are specifying our products or not, and so on. And then this person pass the lead to the sales rep, to the salesperson.
Very interesting. You would call like a sales qualified lead of some sort?
We call it like, gatekeeper, because it's really a gatekeeper. It's a person at the gate, there in the CRM system who decides where to send the leads. And we see that in the countries where we have this person is extremely useful because it's a person who knows how to handle digital leads, or at least they're learning. Some of them used to do it before, some not, but they know better how to handle leads compared to maybe a salesperson that is more like pure salesperson that is maybe a bit more old school, and they are more used to talk to people they already know, or they are from their network. And we see very good results.
The marketing solution, if you're like a digital marketer, would be most of the time, let's throw more automation at the problem. So let's just like send a few emails, qualify that person, see. But by the time that you've done that, it's already no longer a hot lead. So with or maybe they've already gotten in contact in some way if they were interested. So it doesn't really work that well most of the time for most industries. And what you're actually doing by having this gatekeeper talk to them first is, firstly, that person would probably reach out very quickly. So that's very good. Secondly, they are filling out more of the information required in the sales process. So they're making it more efficient later on, enriching the profile and so on. Thirdly, you have better statistics on stuff. Because that person talks to you. So in all ways, I'm very pro this. I think a lot of people should start to do this in their companies.
Indeed, because and it's also from our perspective is a good thing because we don't want to send all kinds of leads to sales. We don't want to waste their time. And the only way we could do that if we didn't have a gatekeeper was to add fields to our forms, to dig into what they do, but only digital. So then, of course, we all know that if you make a form that is too long, people won't fill it. So we lose a potential lead there. From a user perspective, it annoys them and it bothers them to fill a too long form, but we do need this information. So it's a good balance between, to find a solution to generate good quality leads.
Yeah, and I think the way that we could look at this as a model is you need to filter at some point in the process. At which point are you going to do this? So you could think about it like all of your ads will say, this product is only suitable for you if you're willing to spend this much money and you have these type of products and you're in this type of industry and whatever. So basically your whole ad becomes a disclaimer. Don't click here if you're not in that group of people, which is wildly inefficient and like you're not able to do that properly. You can do that on the website in many ways, but for instance, also with the form, you could then also pre-qualify people through emails and so on. You could have them be filtered by expensive salespeople later that have a lot of other things to do. But I suppose the very best thing to do is get as many people as possible in with reasonable targeting that are in a specific industry. Then, as you have said, have someone talk to them to do the filtering sort of more efficiently before they speak to someone else. And this kind of humans plus robots approach, I'm very pro. I don't think that we should automate away the human touch here.
Oh, indeed. And especially I think for this industry that, as I said, is conservative industry and people still appreciate the human dialogue. It is a valuable thing to do and not a waste of time because we can, as you said, filter until a certain extent. We can make a segmentation to a certain extent. So
I'm just wondering, to what extent will you be speaking to new audiences versus people that have probably already worked with you in the past in some way or another?
Let's say for our traditional products, the chances that they are already known customers is high. But with the new design products, we had to approach a completely new audience that was the architects. We were not used to do it from a marketing point of view. The salespeople were absolutely not used to do it, to talk to them in a certain, and also like the language that you use with architects, of course, is different than the language that you use with an installer. So that audience was completely new for us, and we are still learning. We are collecting a lot of learnings. We had some bumps on the road. We did some good things, but yeah, it's a learning curve because it's a completely new audience for us with a new product, so there is on one side how to communicate with them, and on the other side what to communicate. What is the selling point for our new products? Are we actually communicating the right things, the useful informations or not?
And I suppose you can even divide up the challenge here into getting people getting to know your company, just have heard of your company name, what you stand for, and secondly, sort of product education and acquisition work for that sort of thing. On the awareness side of things for this audience, do you guys have a plan? Do you have ideas for the future there?
Yeah, we are working on parallel. We have been working on for example, when we launched the products, we focus a lot on the products, and it wasn't like a mistake, but we also noticed from the feedback from our sales teams.
Who are you?
That they actually, many of them, because it was a new audience, they didn't know Rockfon. So when they called them, they said, "Oh, I remember this product," but they didn't even notice that it was a Rockfon product. So we also had to take a step back and work on the brand awareness and building brand awareness among this target audience. So we do the work on parallel. So it's a parallel between, we work on one side on the brand awareness, on the other side pushing the products as well. And recently we start also working on the projects. So let's show this target audience how to actually use our products, how to specify our products in their projects. So there are, I wouldn't say a funnel because it's not it's not like a classic funnel. We start from brand and we generate leads and then we retain. We are doing these things at the same time.
From the brand awareness side of things, I suppose you could do advertising in industry magazines. You could do sponsorships of conferences, organizing conferences yourself. On the product side, I suppose there's inspiration. So for architects, for instance, there are Instagram pages that show different products like beautifully made in different settings, stuff like this. And then, as you said, there's this aspect of sales support where you need to work with the architects on specific projects and specify like how they can use your products and so on. Does that summarize the idea?
Yes, it's exactly what we do. I can only add that we have a showroom in Copenhagen where they can come and actually see our products physically and how they look in a set of an office, for example. So it's for the inspirational consideration stage. But yeah, it's exactly what we do.
And I suppose the showroom, if you get people to come there, this is a very major indicator of interest. And so it could be worth it to test that, if you're not already, as an intermediary step of conversion to get people into your showroom.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah.
Which markets are you currently doing marketing in or active in?
So we have all Europe and APAC, and we start in a bit in Middle East because especially APAC and Middle East, they have very small teams. So we manage everything centrally. For Middle East and APAC, they have one person. So yeah, and in Europe, we have local marketing managers.
And in Europe, I suppose the majority of the volume of your sales is happening?
Yes. Yeah.
I wonder if you have some thoughts about the fact that you're Danish, Scandinavian design and all of that. This is somewhat of a selling point in Europe, but I suppose even more so in the other regions that you mentioned, APAC, Middle East, and so on. Is there a differentiation of those type of messaging according to the country that you're doing advertising in?
We are very, very new, and it's not an extensive digital marketing strategy that we have there. So for now, at least the message and we have there is similar the one that we use in Europe, with small differences. For example, in APAC, where they have a marketing manager. But of course, with time, it's something we are testing, and in time, we will probably have different approaches for sure.
Got it. I mean, I guess in the beginning stages, the major assignment is just to be available and to have something to show to people.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. I would love to hear from you if there's any companies in the world that you admire from a marketing perspective.
Let's say that when I look for inspiration, I look at it can be distributors or competitors. And because for me, B2B was quite new when I started here, and the industry is, I didn't know that much about this industry. So it's very inspiring to see what other similar companies do. If they do something that works, why not get inspired from them? Or even our distributors, sometimes they are small ones, but we see they are very efficient on the local base. So why not get some inspiration from them and from what they do, and understand the message that they send and the language that they use, because they probably know their audience better than me, that I'm in a central team. I have a marketing background, but I don't have a building industry background. So,
are there any companies in particular that you admire from a marketing perspective?
For example, for the new design products, because as you said, we are Scandinavian and it is a selling point. We have been inspired quite a lot by Louis Paulsen and by their the content that they create and the way they communicate. It was very interesting because it is complementary to what we do, because with the new design products, we are trying to give an idea on how you can design your office, for example, or and yeah, there are lamps in offices and there is lightning, and so they are very complementary products. So it has been an inspiration, and they are Scandinavian. They are from Denmark as well, and it's an iconic brand. So it was a good inspiration, especially from the brand awareness point of view.
Yeah, getting into more luxury and design side of things is kind of requires a shift in thinking about how everything should look and feel. So, taking a luxury company like Louis Paulsen is a good idea.
And they have a similar target audience in there. Like of course, when we talk about B2B, they also talk to probably architects, interior designers, and so on, I believe. So, yeah, it can be a good inspiration.
I feel a collab coming up.
I hope. Maybe. Yeah, we have a nice showroom where they could show their nice lamps. So.
Well, I mean, they're a customer of ours, so I can put you in touch with someone. Thanks a lot for this conversation, Chiara.
Thank you.
It was very interesting. Hope to welcome you another time on the podcast.
Thank you. Very, very nice to talk to you, and yeah, very insightful. Thanks a lot.
So that was Memorable Marketing by MediaGroup with Chiara Galfré from Rockfon. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, greatly appreciate a thumbs up and a subscription on the different platforms. Be on the lookout for new episodes. We post new ones regularly where we talk about all things to do with marketing, brands, and advertising. So until the next time.